Hi, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video presentation on the Research Colloquium. My name is Angelo Alvarez and I'm here to present my entry for my thesis entitled Integrative Bioinformatics Analysis Identifies MIR363, MIR146A, and MIR506 as potential biomarkers of melanoma through CDKN1A targeting. So let's go first and start on what is the background of my study. And we all know that cancer is a very deadly disease, and one of these cancers is melanoma. So melanoma is a type of skin cancer, and in detecting this type of cancer, there are many ways on how we can detect if it is present in our bodies, such as imaging tests, surgery biopsy and discovery, immunophenotyping, and liquid biopsy. But and I just want to introduce microRNAs. And microRNAs are small non-coding RNA molecules that play a crucial role in the regulation of gene expression in various biological processes. So it has been found out that microRNAs can be used as a potential biomarker for the diagnosis of melanoma, and that is what my study aims to do. So let's now ahead and address the problem that my research paper is being discussed. So as mentioned, there are many ways on how cancer can be detected, and one of them is by using biomarkers. And such biomarkers that can be used to detect cancer are proteins, gene array, multiple biomarker assays, and immunohistochemical markers. And as said earlier, microRNAs are also potential biomarkers to determine diagnostic and prognostic capabilities of cancer. So let's now go ahead and start with the objectives of the study. So the first objective is to look for melanoma skin cancer microRNA profiles. And the next is to verify these microRNA profiles by utilizing different tools found on the web to conduct simulations and validate and compare these microRNA profiles, diagnostic and prognostic capabilities to other researchers that perform different methodologies. So let's go ahead and discuss the methodology of my research paper. And it can be seen here that the first step is to determine the microarray dataset search, which I used the JU database together with its accession number as seen on that part below the microarray dataset search. The next is to identify differentially expressed microRNAs by using JU2R. And then we screen those microRNAs to validate which microRNAs are highly expressed, that is either upregulated or downregulated, using a heat map based from the data from JU2R. The next is to use those microRNAs to create a microRNA interaction network using MIRNet 2.0. The next is to use KEGG pathway analysis using MIRNet also, which is included in MIRNet. The next is to determine the survival analysis of these biomarkers to determine the prognostic capabilities by using OALCAN to create an output of the Kaplan-Meier survival analysis curve for melanoma. The next is using these survival biomarkers and assess whether they are indeed used in other researches or if they appeared in other researches as a potential biomarker. Then next, the last is to correlate these data sets together and determine if they are really indeed the best data to be used for biomarkers and to validate these results. Now we will discuss the results that I have found out in my research paper. So we have here a gene expression value distribution, and we can see here a very straight line in the middle between the green portion and the violet portion. And this data set involves ulcerated and non-ulcerated melanoma samples. So in the dataset, there were 638 microRNAs, and this graph tells us that this dataset is valid since there is a straight line, which would mean that the values are median centered and there are no outliers that may alter the dataset, deeming it invalid. So this is a valid dataset confirmed by this gene expression value distribution from J to R. Now we will go with the expression density and the moderated t statistic. So we can see here the expression density that there are, as said earlier, that there are no outliers and it represents almost a single line. Now, this dataset will be invalid if there are multiple lines in the expression density. But in this scenario, there are no different lines and it only represents a single line that are clumped together, which would mean that the dataset is valid in terms of expression density. And additionally, to further validate this data is that moderated t-statistic was also used, and we can see here a straight diagonal line, which would mean that this dataset is valid. And as said earlier, there were no outliers that may alter the experimental data that will be conducted for simulations later on. Now we will go with the top 10 differentially expressed microRNA in the dataset. This was gathered from the heat map that I have generated, which can be seen on my paper. And we can see here that the parameters that I have set is to get a p-value less than 0.05 and a log fold change greater than 1. I chose a log fold change greater than 1 because it would mean that it is there are many changes in the log fold. The microRNAs are very different as compared to the control variable. And this is what the log fold change tells us. So I picked a value greater than 1 because if the log fold change is equal to 0, this would mean that the microRNAs are somewhat not that different from the normal levels or the control variable. And these are the top 10 out of the 638 microRNAs. And we can see here that MIR513B-5P is the only microRNA that appeared upregulated in ulcerated and downregulated in non-ulcerated, while the rest are consistent and have a direct proportion with upregulation and downregulation. In other words, in ulcerated and non-ulcerated, only one showed an alternating arrow. So, as mentioned earlier, this is the heat map, and green is a high outlier which would mean that it has a high expression level, and yellow is between the middle range, and red is the lower, has low expression values. And we can notice here that MIR21 has the highest expression value. And why is that? Because MIR21 is involved in many different mechanisms of the cell. It is not limited to only skin cancer, but it also participates in other biological mechanisms in the body. Now we will go to the microRNA network, and we can see here that MIR21 has the highest number of nodes, And as said earlier, it is involved in many biological processes. It does not only participate in a single mechanism of the body, and which is the reason why it is highly expressed. And the next is the degree of centrality and betweenness in the network. And this tells us that on how these microRNAs are related with each other, or how close they are in terms of function or in the physiology of the body, or how they associate with each other or how connected they are. So we will now go with the common genes found in based on functional enrichment analysis. And I picked these genes because they participate heavily on the cell proliferation of melanoma. And we can see here that there is IL-6 and FKB1, FOXO1, CDKN1A, FAS, FSLG, MYC, and CDK6. Now, out of all of these as genes that are heavily involved with melanoma, it appeared that these four microRNAs that can be seen in table 4.7 would indicate that these are the microRNAs that are heavily involved with these genes for with the genes that are involved in the microRNA cell proliferation, which is CDKN1A, FAS, FASLG, and etc. And out of all of these genes, it can be noticed that CDKN1A remains consistent on all three microRNAs, which would indicate that CDKN1A is also a very important gene in the cell proliferation of melanoma. Now, we will go with the Kaplan-Meier survival effect, or the survival analysis of these microRNAs in correlation with melanoma. So, I use Kaplan-Meier survival analysis curve to determine its prognostic capabilities. And we can see here that MIR21 has the lowest survival rate, and MIR146A has the most prolonged survival rate. Now we will go with the more in-depth in the survival analysis curve, and we can see here that, as mentioned earlier, MIR21 has the lowest survival rate, and MIR146A has the highest survival rate. And table 4.9 also shows us the Pearson correlation. Now we will discuss these biomarkers, and we can see here that MIR21 has the highest expression value, and the rest of the three biomarkers have a role in melanoma development. Now we will go with the in-depth with these biomarkers, and MIR363 has been found to be upregulated in melanoma cell lines through inhibition of P21. And P21 is a very important biomolecule that is involved in many cancers. Now, the CDKN1A gene is very important in melanoma because it is involved in the mitosis of melanoma skin cancer, which is why most of these biomarkers are connected with the CDKN1A gene because of its active role in melanoma. Now, CDK6 also has a role in melanoma production. And as mentioned earlier, the survival curve, MIR146A has the longest survival rate, which this would mean that the selected microRNAs can have a lifespan between 16 years to 23 years. So as a conclusion, the three biomarkers, MIR363, MIR146A, and MIR506 are suitable biomarkers because of CDKN1A gene. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my presentation, and have a good day.